Today on Aging Untold.
There's a lot of kids that will say, oh, mom's getting older, so I have to move in and take care of her. Oh yeah, sure you do. Some of them are really caregiving, and that's legit, but some of them are just getting a free ride and free groceries.
Good kids, bad kids. Is there really such a thing? We're busting through the stereotype to get to the bottom of it. Plus, caregiver overload.
Get counseling, get therapy, get help. Because I'm telling you, bar none, this unresolved stuff complicates every caregiving situation.
Let's talk it out. We'll help you understand when it's time to talk to a therapist.
I am the happiest when I'm in a classroom.
And we'll share why one educator's love of teaching brought her back to the classroom. Experts with advice and solutions. You're watching Aging Untold with Aging Well coach Catherine Ambrose, gerontologist Sam Craddock, aging expert Amy O'Rourke, and board-certified physician Dr. Ray Rogers. We're all getting older. It's about time we talked about it.
Welcome to Aging Untold. When it comes to taking care of our parents in their senior years, is there such a thing as good kids, bad kids? Are the children who take on all the caregiving responsibilities the good kids? And what about the ones who don't? Does that make them bad kids? It's more nuanced than you might think, and that's why today we're busting through the stereotype to find out. Sam, you're a resident bad kid. Why don't you lead us off?
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm just
I was
kidding.
the good kid. Just ask my sibling. Don't ask my siblings. I don't necessarily like that we're pigeonholing our children into good and bad. I think some of us have different skill sets, and some of us have different faculties where maybe some people are just able to emotionally handle the caregiving responsibilities and seeing that decline, and some aren't. Don't get me wrong, I've seen plenty of bad kids, but I've seen plenty of what we think are the good kids doing what we think is the right thing, but they're there for the wrong reason, and they're there to control and to isolate the others. So I don't think we on the outside can always see who's the good and who's the bad.
What is our definition of a good kid?
Right.
Bad kid. Because maybe it's the logistics, and it doesn't mean that just because they're not there, they're not good.
So maybe they don't have the luxury that I had, and I was able to travel and fly in 1 week a month. Most people can't do that. Most
Right.
people don't have a job that allows for that. And so are they the bad kid because they live thousands of miles away and they're not upending their entire life to go take care of their parent?
What I really meant when I kind of came up with good kids, bad kids was I wanted to say to good kids, we see you, we see what you're doing, and also kind of tip you off that when you're so respectful and so reserved and you don't want to step in and kind of cross the line or take away any autonomy, could you be waiting too long to address something? Because sometimes good kids miss things because they're trying to
They're trying to please and placate.
So you've got to be brave and get leverage, ask questions, be curious, and have the bold, candid conversations.
I think it's a balance. Kind of for them, they have to balance all those different things.
I hear it a lot. I can't get my sister to help. I can't get my brother to help. I'm the one that's doing it all. I can't be with my family because I'm taking care of mom or dad or whatever. And I don't know why they're not stepping into that role. Maybe it's emotionally they can't. Maybe it's a resentment. Maybe it's a past issue. Maybe it's just their own self is stepping in the way, and they, you hear, well, I don't want to see my mom like that. I don't want to see my dad like that. But for the ones that are there that are working and doing, you're getting something that no one else can take away from you ever. And don't lose your sibling because of that.
Mm-hmm. You can see it on them when the person dies and someone's really been there and they are completely resolved and okay, and it's pure grief. And then the ones that were too afraid or didn't step in, you have a totally different kind of grief. And it's, honestly, I think it's more complicated to navigate.
The other thing I really wanted to talk about with good kids and bad kids is that there's some bad kids out there that we kind of are judging because we see the manipulation and the terrible things that they're doing. It is really awful. And I think, a lot of money, money, control. There's a lot of kids that will say, oh, mom's getting older, so I have to move in and take care of her. Oh, yeah, sure you do. Some of them are really caregiving, and that's legit, but some of them are just getting a free ride and free groceries.
And I'm not opposed to, if you're truly caregiving, getting that free ride and free groceries, because if you're giving up to take care of your loved one, and you, how do you support your own home and in your own? So I see that, but I also see the POAs that are like, well, it's okay if I put a down payment on my truck. I saw it. It happened in our community. We had a grandson who took his grandmother's account and just used it for his own. And I was involved in that APS case. She no longer had the money to live on. She couldn't pay for her care.
What's POA for the audience?
Power of attorney.
And what's APS?
Adult Protective Services. Yeah. So thank you.
Get a little caught up in the lingo.
Yeah, we get caught up in our own lingo. So, not always are our intentions bad. And I don't think, in that case for sure, I know that grandson did not plan to break his grandmother. He didn't.
Well, and you also have the factor of the older person wanting to help. And then it just gets so blurry, they don't know when to stop, and then they can't stop, and then they can't have the conversation with them because they don't want to lose them, because who's going to take care of me if it's not them?
I can tell you time and time again, kids or grandkids moving in and even having a relationship, getting married, having children, like never move. And like all grandma wants is for once in her life to have her house to herself, and they never leave.
And the key is to start early, talk to the people in your world, set things up ahead of time, and keep checking it. And I'm talking to the older person. Mm-hmm. The older person, it's your funds. Be careful with who you designate to be involved. But designate someone.
I've seen it also too many times where we give the keys to the kingdom to the least responsible, because as a parent, we still want to take care of them. So all of a sudden, you've got this really responsible child over here who's made their way, they're financially stable, but you're going to give it to the kid over here that's lost 2 homes, that hasn't kept a job. And so you're giving them the power of attorney rights, and you're giving them the control because you as a parent want to take care of your child. And
you're hoping they're going to do the right
You're hoping they're going to do the right thing by you. And those patterns and those behaviors aren't going to change.
But then we get back to, if that's what they want to do, why shouldn't they?
Totally.
I'll tell you why they shouldn't, is because they can put themselves in a very vulnerable position when they're fragile. So while you're healthy, while you still have your wits about you, you've got to think about this plan. And no plan is a plan. It's a really bad plan. So you've got to really think this through. And what kind of professionals could also be part of your team? Because if you have a care manager, a physician, the person that runs the home care agency, the gerontologist, your financial planner, your attorney that really know you, people that can step in and try to help when things aren't going well.
That's
Exactly.
Right. That's right.
Well said.
Get the right team.
Put your team together.
Yes.
And we want to be a part of your team too, and we'll be right back on Aging Untold.
Coming up next, feeling overwhelmed, tired, stressed all the time? You may need to talk it out with a professional.
It's like a boiling pot, and it's just going to keep simmering and simmering and simmering until it boils over the top.
Then later,
A lot of patients assume that if they have 20/20 vision, they're perfectly healthy and they have no other health conditions. But really the importance of getting checked, because there's so many other diseases that we can diagnose.
how a routine eye exam can spot clues about your health.
For caregivers and the loved ones they care for, there can often be a sense of feeling overwhelmed, constant fatigue, and daily stressors as they both navigate a new life stage. So, how do we balance navigating caregiving without neglecting our mental health? Let's talk about it. Amy, when should we consider talking with a therapist or seeking some sort of professional help?
You know who I'm thinking of? The son that went to see his parents. He calls me up. He's in a rage, absolute rage. He's in a rage because his father won't bring his mother a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Okay. So I said, well, tell me more about that. He has never brought her a cup of coffee, and goes on to describe his frustration. I said, so let me be clear. He never has done that before, and you want him to do it now. So my point is, this emotional, unresolved issue of his mom waiting on his dad is going to strangle him in his ability to take care of his parents.
You know, the thing that I hear a lot on my social media is, why should I take care of them? They didn't take care of me. They left us to go feral. And I try to remind this generation, which is our generation, that our parents, our moms were oftentimes the first moms to really go out into the workforce. And so they were trying to keep up with the silent generation moms, the ones that were at home cooking the meals, making sure dad's lunches were packed. And they took care of the kids, and they were there with their kids, but then they had to go to work. Now our parents went to work, our moms did, and something had to give. There's not that many hours in a day, as you guys and I know too well. So our generation we got left a little feral. But I think we grew up stronger because of it. And there's a lot of resentment that goes on from those kids, and unresolved anger and frustrations.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons, which I keep reiterating over and over and over. Get counseling, get therapy, get help. Because I'm telling you, bar none, this unresolved stuff complicates every caregiving situation.
And I know I made many mistakes as a parent. I didn't realize what I was doing wrong.
Only because there was no roadmap.
There was no roadmap. I was doing the best I could.
Let's figure it out as we go.
Fortunately, a lot of harbored resentment is against people that don't even know they've offended you. And so just having a conversation and saying, you know, Mom, you didn't do this for me, or Dad, you didn't do this for Mom, or whatever the case may be. Well, I didn't know it was bothering you. I didn't know I did that. And right there, that on its own can be therapy. Just the acknowledgement.
Well, the main thing is do what you can so you don't let friction divide you and make things worse. It can be challenging enough as it is without making it worse by dwelling on things from the past or letting daily frustrations get to you.
Almost like a cancer. You know, they talk about things, something can be a cancer because it's just growing and it's silent and it's growing and it's growing, and it can be so detrimental.
And
to unpack it.
And if you're really, let's say, like a full-time caregiver, if your loved one were in a senior living community, you might be doing the work of 8 to 24 different people. So you got to remember, give yourself grace that you're doing the work of many, many people. And even if you're just running errands or giving pep talks all day, that is caregiving. And it's really important that you take care of your own exercise. Exercise can immediately change your mood. Like, I don't want to go exercise, but you force yourself to go do it and you come out feeling better.
You feel so good.
But not everybody has time. Not everyone has time.
So the question becomes, what can you do with the limited time that you have? That's the question to ask. It might just be taking a little walk. It might be calling for a 3-minute talk with a friend.
Deep breathing exercises, just
deep breathing.
hold up and then letting out.
What does that do for your nervous system when you do that?
Relax the whole nervous system. It kicks into this system that's called parasympathetics, which is rest and digest.
Okay, very good. I was just picturing, no. Rather, you're stressing me out.
All right.
All right. We'll be back with more on Aging Untold.
After the break, an eye-opening discovery after a routine eye exam uncovers a life-changing diagnosis for this patient.
If it wasn't for her, I would not know I have MS.
Then,
I just enjoy so much doing what I do. I haven't ever done anything else.
a teacher who tried to retire but couldn't.
Experts say your eyes can reveal a lot about your overall health. Through an eye exam, doctors say they can identify the early warning signs of chronic diseases, including cancer, diabetes, and stroke. Reporter Adam Murphy explains how an optometrist in Atlanta detected a patient's life-altering condition.
Does one eye feel like it's more red, or is the color different between the two eyes?
Yes.
Andrea Medford knows the importance of getting a routine eye exam as well as anybody.
I'm just going to go in and patch one eye.
She woke up with blurry vision in one eye and contacted Briggs Vision Group in Dunwoody to schedule a checkup. That decision may have saved her vision.
She then came back in the room, handed me a piece of paper, and said, I need you to go to the emergency room.
As you can see where she was missing a lot of her whole vision here, and then it was depressed everywhere else.
Dr. Rebecca Briggs Garnier conducted a series of vision tests, including the red cap exam, before offering a diagnosis of optic neuritis, which occurs when swelling damages the optic nerve.
Her good eye saw the red perfectly, and the bad eye was very muted, looked more like a burgundy grayish color. So we knew at that point it was optic neuritis.
That's when Medford was told to go to the emergency room, and what happened next, no one could see coming.
I get to my hospital room. An emergency department doctor came into my room once I was in there and said that, we need to talk about paperwork and your MS diagnosis.
Medford was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and spent a week in the hospital before her vision returned. Briggs Vision Group stressed the importance of an eye exam, which can identify more than 200 diseases.
So I think a lot of patients assume that if they have 20/20 vision, they're perfectly healthy and they have no other health conditions. But really the importance of getting checked, because there's so many other diseases that we can diagnose.
If it wasn't for her, I would not know I have MS.
Wow, I haven't heard that before.
Wow. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. At the level of the cell, the body tells you what's going on. We miss it because we're just not taught that. But I don't think a lot of people realize MS is an autoimmune disorder.
It is.
It is an autoimmune, and so when you talk about optic neuritis, anything with itis is inflammation, and that's what's driving all diseases. It's just that where do you manifest it? She manifested hers in her eyes.
But think about this, if you can see, you don't go to the eye doctor.
But she woke up with blurred vision, so
Yeah,
that's
right.
what made her go.
Right, but I'm thinking, why don't we all just go every year regardless of your eyesight?
Because there's indicators for even other diseases that they could find.
Because you have the arteries that, they're looking at that machine going like that and looking at your eyes. They're looking at the arteries and all that. So arterial health is everywhere throughout your body. So when that's inflamed, that's blood flow. That's, they can pick up high blood pressure in the eyes and all that because the narrowing of the vessels and all that is just, it's kind of like they say the eyes are the window to the soul.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it's worth protecting. I know I go every 6 months instead of every year because we're watching for glaucoma.
Did you guys look at her? She looks like the picture of health.
She does.
Autoimmune diseases do not.
That's right.
They don't discriminate. I was on a softball field and played 8 games one weekend and couldn't walk 3 days later. So they don't discriminate.
Oh, no.
They attack anybody at any time.
And
so.
if you have one, you're going to get others. You have
yeah.
to find
Thanks
out
for
where.
letting me know that.
Yeah. but it can be treatable. It can be, you want to
Yes.
treat and find
Yes.
out the root cause of why you got what you got.
Exactly.
And then, start getting the right treatment. There's a lot of people that just want to tough everything out. Oh, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. And you're missing out on important opportunities to find out something that you need to know about your own body.
Coming up, after more than 5 decades in the classroom, this educator is still inspiring students.
If you establish a relationship with each child at the very beginning of the year, then they will receive instruction well. And that's my job, is to deliver instruction.
We want to introduce you to educator Barbara Longeway. A teacher for more than 5 decades found her first attempt at retirement didn't quite stick. So she headed back into the classroom to keep doing the things she loves.
Kindergarten. The origin of the word means garden of children. And for Barbara Longeway, after spending most of her life in the classroom, she knows exactly what these little minds need to grow.
I love helping them establish the foundation for their lifelong learning. I just enjoy so much doing what I do that I can't imagine. I haven't ever done anything else.
Mrs. Longeway's teaching career began in Kentucky in 1969. Now at age 76, the Baton Rouge Center for Visual and Performing Arts is where she continues to be a vital part of children's lives.
If you establish a relationship with each child at the very beginning of the year, then they will receive instruction well. And that's my job, is to deliver instruction.
But for this veteran teacher, classroom life is more than just a job. It's her passion, her calling. Back in 2012, she tried to retire, but just a few months later,
retirement just didn't suit me.
What brought you back?
I am the happiest when I'm in a classroom. Students make a connection with you. They want to make a connection with you. As teachers, we should be making connections with all of our students.
A special kind of relationship that inspires a student to believe that anything is possible.
Thank goodness she loves to be in the classroom because she is making a difference. You can tell that for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She loves what she's doing.
I think it's just amazing how you can have a purpose and a passion, and she realizes that she can still deliver that same passion in a different way.
Her face had a glow. It was like looking at someone that's pregnant, like they have a look. She had a look of sheer happiness.
Right.
I love the glasses, by the way. They were very, very cool.
Of course you did.
She had them rocking, didn't she?
Of course you did.
Yeah. And those kids are so lucky because they've got a teacher that wants to be there and wants to. When she said establish a relationship with each child, what a bonus for them.
Because that's all kids need, is just that. And I don't know about you guys, but did you have a teacher that changed your trajectory, your life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so we all remember those teachers that we had of our youth. And she's that.
She's absolutely right. I mean, that makes a child open up. They will receive instruction.
Yeah. Yeah, they're longing for that connection, and she's the right person to give it.
Well, the nice thing is that she was able to step back into teaching, which is what she loves, because for some people, there's so much ageism, and if you leave, you're not getting back in, so you're going to have to do something different.
They're pushing you out.
So for sure. Starting in your 50s, I got a kick out of what you didn't get to see, and that was our reaction when they put up the photo of her when she was young. We all looked at each other and went, we just loved it.
Absolutely.
A life well lived, and on she goes.
Absolutely.
We don't talk enough about aging, and that's why we're here, to embrace it and talk about it together. Until next time, we'll see you on Aging Untold.
Next time on Aging Untold, navigating loss and coming out stronger on the other side.
Recognizing where are you in this grief process?
All those tips that we just shared all work.
You can watch Aging Untold anytime online. Go to aginguntold.com or subscribe to the Aging Untold YouTube channel for more.
All right, welcome back to KCTV 5. Plus, it's Bill Hurlbrink alongside, whoops, you can't see anything when I don't take the countdown thing down. Look at that. How about that? There's a live picture of a gray Kansas City, but it's Bill Hurlbrink alongside Kerrigan Arnold. Shane Kanicki here, hosts of My KC Live. Of course, just wrapped up another video of Aging Untold here in Kansas City. One of the really nice things I think they talked about there was the connection that teachers have in our life and how that is a lifetime connection with people. So the first off, before we really kind of get into anything else, I just want to know about any teachers that you guys have had in your life growing up that have really made a significant impact, maybe on not just what you're doing today, but maybe something you think back about with, fondness, and you're like, couldn't be the person I am today without what they said to me and how they taught me growing up.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a great one. You start.
I would say my college advisor at Missouri State University, Dr. Holly Holliday. She really poured into me and really she cheered me on in all the different moments I had in college. She let me come cry in her office many times. Listen, we all cry in college. It happens. She also, I had a moment in college where I thought I wasn't going to go into journalism. I actually took a step back and was going to be a teacher for secondary education. I did that for a little bit, and then it just didn't feel like the right thing, and so I had a lot of conversations with her, and she really welcomed me back into the journalism department and kind of helped me navigate that. But I would say a lot of my willingness to try this came from her, Dr. Holly Holliday.
Was Holly Holliday her real name?
Yes.
Really?
That's a cool name.
Yes.
I like the alliteration. It's
now,
great.
I will say Holliday is her married name.
Okay.
But yes, she is Dr. Holly Holliday. And then I would say the other teacher would be my high school senior teacher, Mr. Lynch.
Okay.
Nice.
Shout out
Very
Mr.
cool.
Lynch.
Yeah,
Shane,
yeah.
what about you? Now, you're a Wichita guy, so
Yes.
down the road in Wichita, where did you go to school in Wichita?
So I went to Mays, which
Mays,
is like,
okay,
like a school district right outside of the Wichita School
Yeah.
District. But and I was thinking back while you were talking, I was like, I have so many. I don't think I ever had a bad teacher. So all of them top marks. But I will say that my third grade teacher, which is wild because it's so early on, Mrs. Carter, I will always remember the way that she read books to us. So she would sit there and she would do all the voices, like Roald Dahl and all those different things,
Yeah.
the witches, everything. She would do all the different, and we would all sit there and love hearing it. And I think a lot of my spark of because the movie stuff on the side and everything like that, the creative juices started flowing with her, kind of pouring that into us. And it's just, it's third grade. You're trying to learn your, multiplication tables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
being able to hand that off to us as well at such a time where you're just sort of like a little sponge and soaking everything in. I attribute that. And actually, we were at the state fair, I think it was years and years and years ago, and she stopped me and said, Shane? So she remembered. I know. I was
cool is
like,
that?
probably like 25 or 26 when it happened. But teachers like that are very, very special, I think, and they
Yeah.
don't get enough credit.
No, definitely.
What about you, Bill?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had a number of history, social studies teachers growing up that had a profound impact in my life. In 7th grade, Jim Peters at Eisenhower Middle School here in KCK, he took me and a handful of other folks, flew us to Washington, D.C. over the Thanksgiving break, and for 3 days we got to go see, the Kennedy Center, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and see these pillars of American history that, he'd been teaching about. And then I had Arthur Hathaway. It was my freshman high school American and world history teacher, and just the way that they taught the subject we were thinking about. And Mr. Hassick was my junior IB history professor, along with Mr. Smith. Just a number of guys who made learning about history fun, because let's be honest, history is a bunch of old, dorky stuff that nobody cares about. But I loved it, and I loved about learning about the different interpretations of it as well. And I even carried that into college, because I thought for a little while I was going to be a history teacher in college because of the way that they were able to teach me. I wanted to be able to teach the next generation kind of that same thing, But then also music was a big part of my life as well. My music teachers growing up, including my piano teachers, my jazz professors, both in high school and college, had a profound impact on my life as well. But isn't it just amazing how much these individual people teach us that then we carry through in life? And I don't think it's necessarily something we think about every single day, but maybe something that all of a sudden you're like, boom, and that clicks a spark, and it's like you're right back there in 11th grade jazz band or something. And Paul McBride said, learn your jazz scales because you're going to need them, And then the next thing you know, you forget about it, but then 30 years later, it's like, boom, you're right back there in a heartbeat.
It's useful again, too. Yeah. That's so cool.
Exactly. So don't forget, Aging Untold comes your way every single weekday here at 10 a.m. on KCTV5 Plus and on KSMO Channel 62. It airs on KCTV5, but you have to stay up after like the Tonight Show and stuff to watch it. And I mean, I'm usually asleep by that time. I don't know about you guys.
Not awake at that point.
All right. Well, you guys had a fun show today. I saw a handful of guests down on my KC Live, which of course airs at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. 9 a.m. here at the Price is Right is on at 10 a.m. Right, but here's at 9 a.m. here on KCTV5, and you had some folks out here making drinks today. What's going on here?
Yes, we had some of the ladies that bartend at Goat and Rabbit. They are celebrating their first upcoming pop-up for 2026, and it's in celebration of Women's History Month.
Okay.
So they all came on and they all made a different cocktail that it was inspired by like their childhood. Something special in their life. So this first one that's being made, that is Darcy. She was telling us that her grandma always made shrimp scampi growing up.
Okay.
So that drink is infused butter gin.
Okay.
With some olive oil, and it's got it's.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
It is so good, and then she tops it with a breadstick.
Yeah, she garnished it with the breadstick on top there, and I took a little sip of it after we were off air, and it really did. It tasted like I took a bite of like Italian pasta and just a little nibble of a breadstick.
Now it didn't have any like shrimp in it, did it?
No.
Okay.
She said that ahead of time. She was like, "Listen, there is no shrimp in here. Not gonna get that wild." But then we had Beverly, who's making her drink next, and hers was. Oh my gosh, so good. She had like this tangerine infused with some pepper, like whipped cream that she put on it. She said that her inspiration came from, I think she said Florida or somewhere like that.
Okay, so a citrus state.
Yes, and they used to have an orange tree, or technically it was a tangerine tree, in their backyard, and she remembers they were always so sour, and her dad would always play a prank on her friends being like, here, just have a bite of this orange. And then it would be a very, very sour tangerine. So that kind of inspired her drink. It was so good. And then she said she was calling it, I think, Serrano salt on the side. Every time she said it, it made me
like a
think
Serrano
of,
pepper thing or something? Does
Serrano
that have a little heat to it?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was also infused in that whipped cream. And then Bailey, on the very end, she made a key lime pie inspired cocktail, but it also had some boba in it, like kiwi boba.
Okay.
All three drinks were absolutely amazing. They were all very different flavor profiles, but crafted so well.
And can you talk a little bit about Moxa and kind of what they do here in our community? Because I'm familiar with the name. I've seen them around. I think I've probably even been to events with them before. But what's kind of their purpose here as we go through Women's History Month?
Yeah, so they actually provide resources to sexual assault survivors, as well as helping kind of coach different restaurants and kind of help them on what to be on the lookout for with some of those things. So they just provide a lot of support, resources, just a lending ear. So that's kind of their big mission on that, is just to help the sexual assault survivors that are, in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a really, really amazing thing that they do, because not to be dark, but 1 in 3 women have gone through something like that. So to really, pour into an event like this, where they're fundraising, where proceeds are going to go to that organization, it's really amazing, because it does touch a lot of people.
Yeah, I wanted to take down the banner there so you can kind of see some of the website there, the gnrkc.com. Also, it benefits Mosca at the Girl Bar from obviously now until the end of the month, and you can go to Goat and Rabbit KC. I assume that's on Instagram and all that kind of good stuff.
So
go follow that.
that's their Instagram, that's their website as well. But yeah, it benefits that amazing organization. So it's a really cool way to tie in, a fun collaborative event where you get to just kind of let loose with some friends, but also you get to know that it pours back into an organization that's pouring into our community.
Very neat. I love the fact that, My KC Live really dives into these type of things that are really big community supporting events, and that we can all be a part of that and go support these organizations that do such a big outreach in our community, right? Because I don't think a lot of people think about it necessarily. I think sometimes we get focused on our day-to-day. It's like, what do I have to do? I got to take care of the kids. There's practice tonight. There's this and this and this I have to do. And it's hard to lose track of what other people sometimes are struggling with here in Kansas City. And a group that does this type of work is probably some of the most important work here around town.
Oh, yeah. And it's cool that you've got people in the community that are taking it upon themselves to raise money for stuff like this. Create something that's really fun that you want to be a part of, and it also funnels into something that's so important, like you said.
Exactly. Well, that's pretty deep, heavy stuff. What else did you guys do on the show today?
Listen.
How do you feel
I
about...
saw Helen was here, and I saw Latrice was here, too, and I love Latrice. So.
Yes, we have, obviously, at My KC Live, we have range, I'd like to say. We try to hit a lot of different things on the show. Whatever what you like, if one segment you're not the biggest fan of, chances are we are completely switching gears in the next few minutes.
I love it.
Latrice came on and talked about cognitive labor. Have you ever heard that term before?
Cognitive labor? Is that like I have to think while I'm working? Because that's what it kind of sounds like.
Technically,
kind of, maybe, but not quite it at all.
It's to do with relationships, right? So it could be a romantic relationship or just a friendship relationship, but it's when you're doing all the work. So if you're the person that's always having to text people and try and get people together, or you're trying to keep the friendship alive, and you look through your text thread and you've got like 6 that have been unanswered or something, that's that cognitive labor that she's talking about, which can really take a toll on whether or not, like we said, relationship that's romantic or friendship.
Sure.
Yeah, just kind of her whole thing was like, if you have to constantly think about like trying to initiate things with these friendships, these relationships, like it's probably going to take a toll on you at some point. And then you have to think to yourself, is this worth the labor that I'm kind of putting in and not getting back? We also had Brooke Baird on. We love having her. She is about to pop.
Yeah.
She is
pregnant.
She's pregnant.
She surprised all of us.
Yeah, we had no idea. She literally came on and she's like, I'm sure you guys can tell. And I was like, Brooke, you are this big.
Yeah,
I would never have known. But no, so she came on and she talked us through some different fun recipes to incorporate broccoli.
Are you a broccoli guy, Bill?
Am I a broccoli guy? I have a love-hate relationship with broccoli because I know it's good for me, but I'm not a big fan of it. So what I do is I mask the taste of broccoli with red onions. So if I have a dish that has broccoli in it, I put a ton of red onions in it to try to cover up the taste as best as I can.
It's funny that you say that, though, because 2 of her recipes included red onion.
Yeah.
So, so she walked us through 3 different things. One was kind of a broccoli salad that you can use, some Greek yogurt and honey. You add some little, like craisins in there, some sunflower seeds, red onion. Then she showed us another dish that was like a breakfast dish. It was like a...
kind of like a quiche or like a
omelet.
frittata, I think she said.
That included broccoli. And then the last one was just some broccoli where you just layer it with some balsamic, some red onion, and some feta. So good.
Not bad at all. And I'm sure if you want to get some of those recipes, if you go to kctv5.com and you go over to the My KC Live segment, most of all their segments get posted here. So here's obviously some stuff from yesterday. Yeah, I know you had the Lucky 13 rescue. Oh, first off, I saw the video on your Instagram of you getting to second base with that dog. And I do want to have a couple questions about that because
I did make sure to put in the caption that we do not recommend that you lick our faces when you join us on set, but it is reserved for the 4-legged friends. I almost made the caption like not safe for work content, but then I was like, someone might take this too far. It's just a joke.
Now I got to see if I can find it. Is it on the Facebook page too, or just on your Instagram?
It's on. I think it's just on Instagram.
Oh, I can't log into that there anyway.
I'm so sorry, because on Facebook it's connected to my personal.
Oh, maybe Facebook. I can't. Hold on. Let's. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I find this.
Listen, I'm completely always fine with dogs licking my face.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times in just the last little bit.
You had it happen not long ago, though, where it went a smidge too far because you were like, it felt like a wet Tootsie Roll in my mouth.
Yeah, the little puppy put his tongue. But you know what, though?
I think this is the video here.
The puppy gets adopted, it's worth it.
So this is Francie. They call her Prancy Francie because she loves to prance around. When I tell you I'm always close to like taking a third dog home.
Yeah.
This one really, really got me.
Yeah, she's special.
She was so sweet.
Look at her.
So loving. Look at her right there, just laying with her like sprawled. I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, look at her.
Yes, seriously, she is the sweetest thing you will see here momentarily. I initiated it kinda because I just kept kissing her head, and there it is.
She kind of looks like a cattle dog. Is that what she was, or is she kind of a mix, or did they know what she was exactly?
Yeah, she's got a lot, I think.
Yeah.
But
she's got a lot of love, that's for sure.
Listen, guys, I'm
mesmerized by the video.
If anything, I'm consistent with my love for the animals.
That's right. Well, we appreciate that, and that's one of my favorite parts of the show is so I have a break typically before you guys come on, and when I come back to work, I know if there's going to be a dog on the show because they're always hanging out in the entryway here at KCTV5, then they go to the green room, and then they go back on your show and everything. And I know you guys do a lot of great work trying to get these dogs adopted. I know you have a pretty good success rate great at getting these dogs into some homes too.
Yes, yes. We always tell them to follow up with us. Let us know. There was one time we had a dog come on the set, and they were adopted like later that day from a guest that was on the show.
Yeah, we've heard people have been reaching out sometimes, even a couple of minutes after the segment is aired. They'll be like, "Hey, we've already got a couple applications." So
that's so cool.
It is very cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, again, Shane Kinnicky and Kerrigan Arnold from My KC Live. You can catch it Monday through Friday. Okay, hold on. Oh, let me turn your mic up as loud as it goes. All right, air horns. Okay, that's enough. Stop. All right, stick around. We do have. Did you just snort again?
Yeah.
How often do you snort on air?
All
the
and
time.
I'm really sweaty now.
I'm really sweating now.
Yeah, these are all things I do and say on TV quite frequently.
So behind the scenes,
Snorts
they
and
are
sweats.
Snorts
located
and sweats, baby.
in our creative services department, and they're not allowed in the newsroom an awful lot, except for like this quick little 15 minutes. So yeah, that's why she's really hot and sweaty right now. Everyone knows why. So yes. All right, we're gonna take you out to a live look here over the city of Fountains Union Station down below. See those KC Current banners hanging there. Of course, they have their first home match coming up this weekend. We're gonna talk a little bit about that coming up tomorrow on Bill's Weekend Picks. But some great overcast skies as we get ready to go to break. When we come back, First One 5 meteorologist Stevie Stevenson can come by with an update on our forecast, what we can expect for the rest of the day. Cooling off as we head into the weekend, and if we're finally going to get some more spring-like weather, we're going to kind of be stuck back in this winter thing. Mother Nature's not happy here over the last couple of days. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here on KCTV 5+.
It is a cool and damp morning in Kansas City, but I do have some good news for us now that we push into the late morning and closer to the afternoon, and that's that this morning's first warn has now concluded. That was in place as we were looking at impacts from lingering rain and even some thunderstorms throughout the morning commute and there afterwards, but now that rain has officially pushed out of the metro. We do have some lingering showers for some, and we're still hanging on to a lot of that stubborn, gloomy cloud cover, but those clouds will eventually clear. So let me get you the latest look at radar just right off the top here so you can see the current situation. Out of the metro, out of the 435 loop, that rain is finally making its way out there. Now, if we look to the south, some pockets of moderate rainfall still ongoing as we look south of Paola and down into our southernmost communities and out east along I-70. So the rain is not completely done area-wide just yet. That will really kick into action as we break into the afternoon. But I also want to highlight that because some of this rain is continuing and some areas got ran over by rain time and time again, that we're still going to have some flood warnings in place for the next few hours. So down in Miami County, your flood warning is going to be in place until 3 o'clock this afternoon. If you encounter any water over the roadways, make sure that you reroute, turn around, even if it's going to take you a few extra minutes. Never drive over flooded roadways. And I want to take you out east as well. Carrollton and Carroll County as a whole still in that flood warning too. That's going to be in place until later in this afternoon. And another little portion, that northeastern corner of Carroll County, going to be in a flood warning for about another hour and a half. So still dealing with some lingering impacts out there, but the impacts have moved out of the metro. Still though, if you find some water of the roadways, especially in low-lying areas like the bottoms of hills, or if you have to go over creeks or bridges, just make sure that you're being really cautious and really paying attention to what the road conditions are like and reroute to avoid driving through water. Also, if we look ahead on our high resolution data here, shows the exact same thing. This rain continuing to push out to the east, mostly light, but some moderate pockets still possible until lunchtime. And then eventually, right around 1 o'clock, we'll be beginning to see little bits of some sunshine. I think we get better clearing in the afternoon, but we'll see. We'll hope to get at least a touch of sunshine today. And thankfully, our rain chances stay at 0 for the remainder of our Wednesday. So that's after lunchtime, of course, and after lunchtime we'll also try to break up that cloud cover a bit more, taking another look outside at downtown Kansas City. Still just a very gloomy day. Those clouds are also preventing us from warming up all that much, so we've been in the upper 30s and low 40s for the past several hours. Here's where we sit right now though, 39 degrees in Kansas City. That's actually the coldest we've been behind this front so far. So because of that cloud cover and because of all that rain-cooled air, we haven't been able to warm up much at all. Just been holding really strong at 39 degrees for at least an hour now. If we look towards areas in the south, barely warmer, still in the low to mid 40s down there towards Clinton, Sedalia, Butler. And if we look back behind us where that cold front swooped in a bit earlier, Maryville, Bethany in the mid 30s. So definitely a chilly start to our Wednesday, and a huge difference when we compare it to what we had just yesterday. Less than 24 hours ago, our thermometers were reading almost record-breaking temperatures in the mid 80s. 83 degrees was Kansas City's high yesterday, and this morning we're at the coolest point, 39, as I was mentioning to you. So that's going to continue to plague us for the rest of the day, those cooler temperatures. I hope you didn't get too comfortable with yesterday's surge of warmth, because it is non-existent as you look at the next several hours and even into the next couple of days. We're not going to get anything close to how warm we were yesterday for the remainder of your week here. Over the next couple hours, at least, as we start to kick out some of that cloud cover, we'll warm up into the low to mid 40s, but that's about all we will be able to do. There's those rain chances jumping off the board as you see there, and eventually we'll try to break into a bit more sunshine though. We will still be dealing with some winds. It's going to be pretty gusty, so definitely keep that in mind. It's still not going to be the nicest day, even though we are getting rid of those rain chances, but we do have better days to come. For today, coolest day we're looking at for the remainder of the week highs in the mid 40s to low 50s. That's about all we can do. We went from unseasonably warm and so warm yesterday to actually unseasonably cold. It's definitely a time of year to keep that wardrobe very, very flexible as we continue to deal with these up and downs of temperatures. Make sure you have a jacket on you tonight as we go into the evening time. If you have any evening plans, we are talking low 40s, and winds are going to make that feel just a touch cooler. Going into Thursday morning, though, that's when we'll find temperatures near freezing and maybe at times even just a bit colder than that. Kansas City's morning low tomorrow, 29 degrees. Definitely going to feel like a slap in the face as soon as you step out the door. Even colder as we look northward to Maryville and St. Joe as per usual. So everybody needs to be grabbing that jacket tomorrow morning. We're going through a lot of different changes recently, not only with those rain and storm chances, but with our temperatures too. It's a roller coaster here this time of year. So chilly start on your Thursday. Grab a jacket as you get out the door, but by the afternoon we are looking much better. 60 degrees for that afternoon high tomorrow. More sunshine, still really nice day on Friday too. We're talking 59, so just a touch cooler. We're going to have a dry cold front roll on through, and then Saturday we start to crank up the temperatures again. 66, not bad. Really nice way to head into the weekend here, and we deserve that after all that rain and thunderstorm activity we had to deal with over the past 24 hours, and that's even how we started last weekend too. So it's been a rough week, but we will have some nicer, calmer days to enjoy. Something else I want to point out though about the forecast is that we are going to be cranking up those winds. So tomorrow, even more so than today, we're going to be dealing with 40-mile-per-hour gusts at times. Now that does power our warm up, but those temperatures maybe aren't going to feel quite as warm as they would if those winds were a bit calmer. Friday and Saturday, those temperatures will feel more true to what the thermometer will be reading because the winds will be much lighter. And then Sunday, here we go. Next first warn, 50-mile-per-hour gusts or faster are possible. That is why that first warn is in place. This is going to impact the end of your weekend. We're talking strong wind gusts, but not because of thunderstorms. That's normally when we find gusts that strong. Instead, we're just going to find a very stout cold front rolling through that will try to bump up those wind gusts into the 40 to 50 mile per hour range. So that's why that first warn is in place, walking you through it. Even our long range data is on this. You could see that flip from the winds towards the south coming in from the southwest. And if you look up towards the left top corner of your screen, you can start to see those winds coming in from the northwest. There's our front, kicks up the winds dramatically mid-afternoon, gusts to 45 miles per hour, and those strengthen into the evening time. So as temperatures fall, those wind gusts stay strong. Wind chills probably not going to really help us out here for our Sunday evening forecast, despite the fact that it's just going to be plain windy, and that's just also a little annoying to deal with. We'll hang on to a few strong winds into our Monday morning, but that strong wind gust threat is largely over by the time Sunday is done. So that first warn is the reason for that first warn, I should say, is the gust to 50 miles per hour. Then the rain is possible too, just out of 40%. You could see just some real spotty, light to moderate showers out there through the late morning and into the afternoon as that cold front kind of sweeps through. But that's all really we're seeing with rain. The rain, not the impactful part of the forecast. It's more so the wind. So getting you a look ahead on your Security Bank 7-day forecast. After we clear out this cloud cover into the afternoon, still going to stay chilly, but then into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, much nicer. We'll be right back after a short break.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm excited too. We get a video like that and a little bit of Tech 9 before 10 o'clock, and you know you're going to have a good day. Absolutely. Thank you for being here today. My name is Mike Kelly. I am the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners for Johnson County, Kansas. On behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, on behalf of the Johnson County government, I'd like to welcome you as we officially kick off Johnson County United. This is a unique opportunity and a bit of a full circle moment for all of us, as about, well, 3.5 years ago, in June of 2022, we watched from the Power and Light District as Kansas City officially was announced as a host region for the World Cup. And now to be here listening to Tech 9 and seeing all the work that has been done to prepare us for this unique opportunity to welcome hundreds of thousands of folks from around the world, to be ready for the hundreds of millions of dollars of economic impact into our community. I could not be more proud of the effort and not any more grateful than for the partnerships that we've established. And that's what it's been about since the beginning, is partnership. Kansas City didn't win these matches just because of one city or one county or one state. It was a united bid, just like America and Mexico and Canada came together for a united bid for the World Cup itself. It was the united bid of the Kansas City metro region that came together through partnership to allow us to rise on the world stage. And to show a little bit of what that Kansas City magic is to the world, we'll be welcoming teams from at least 4 continents, and we'll see about the knockout rounds soon enough. But it is about the opportunity to showcase all that this region has to offer. And there is a diversity of options and amenities and excitement in our region. And I'm so glad that Johnson County has really stood up. Johnson County's cities have stood up to be able to showcase the little bit of magic that they bring to the table as well. The investments we have made have been significant. To be able to stand up new transportation systems are, yes, clap for the transportation systems, Janae. Through the Johnson County Link, we're creating a circulator route through 7 of our cities on 14 different stops that overlays with the Connected KC 2026 plan, the enhancement to transit made by KC 2026, also going to multiple stops around Johnson County and throughout the metropolitan region. It provides integrated and seamless services to visitors who probably have a higher expectation for public transit. Our airport drop-in rides service will provide direct service from the airport to Johnson County for the first time on public transit. And I'd like to thank our partners in Lenexa and Overland Park who came with us to create this unique system. And it's about building a legacy. It's about making sure that the investments that we've made now are not just for 33 days, but for years to come. There's so much excitement happening. It's a need to point everyone to a location and behind a brand. And therefore, we created Johnson County United. You can go to johnsoncountyunited.com to find out more about all of the resources, about the transportation, about the celebrations, like the celebration to take place at Theater in the Park, a family-friendly opportunity for those who may not get match tickets, which I heard are in high demand these days. But we're not just preparing for a tournament. We're building infrastructure. We're building partnerships and momentum that will benefit Johnson County, that will benefit the metro, that will benefit the state of Kansas for years to come. And when I speak of partnership, it's not just these local layers of government. Yes, the cities have stood up significantly. the county has stood up, the region has stood up, but our federal partners have been right alongside us the entire time. Not only in making sure that we are coordinating safety and security, making sure that we have the resource to keep our community rolling through transportation, but being great advocates for us to dedicate the resources and the attention so that we can leave that legacy as we move forward beyond just the World Cup. Because if we can exercise our collective partnerships for the World Cup and show that Kansas City magic to the world, there's nothing we can't do. So in recognition of that partnership, I'd like to thank and welcome your Congresswoman from the 3rd District in Kansas, my friend Sharice Davids.
Casey, baby? Okay. Sorry. Video. So they did a good job. Well, good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here. It's like really great to join all of you to kick off the Johnson County United initiative and continue to get ready for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our region, not just to host the world's biggest sporting event, but also to show off our communities, the people here in our region, and everything that makes the KC region so special. And, you know, at the federal level, thank you for the shout out. At the federal level, we've definitely been focused on making sure that our host communities and, of course, the KC region have the resources necessary to be as ready as possible for this. And that means investing in everything from infrastructure, improving our transportation systems, to supporting public safety for everyone, whether it's residents, visitors, fans. We want to make sure that everyone can enjoy the tournament safely and smoothly. And, you know, to get to that, I was really proud to have founded the Congressional World Cup FIFA 2026 caucus a few years ago. It's helped secure, our caucus has helped secure more than $625 million for safety and security, and $100 million. And then $100 million for transit operations across the country, which I'm just excited about. I mean, these investments are so important, but when we think about what makes this really special, especially here at home, has been the leadership that we've seen from across the region. And the people of KC, the people of our region saw this opportunity. Like, y'all rolled up your sleeves and did everything that needed to be done to make this happen. The planning, the partnerships, the commitment to what makes this place great is what is going to ensure that our region hosts a world-class World Cup and leaves a lasting impact for future generations. The community and the future generations here are really going to see a benefit because of this. I do want to give a shout out to all the folks who have been working behind the scenes, the transit teams, the public safety teams and crews that have been working on this, our small businesses, the volunteers, so many of our civil servants in the county, state, and local. There's too many. I'm just like so many people have been working so hard on this for literally years. And it's that hard work and dedication that has turned so many ideas into action, that has made sure that we are in the best position possible to make sure that every visitor experiences the absolute best that our region has to offer. And so thank you for inviting me to celebrate this with you. And I'm going to turn it over. It's my pleasure to introduce someone who really has been such a driving force behind trying to bring this vision to life. Vice President of the KC 2026 Board of Directors, Neil Sharma, is going to come up now.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you this is our moment. Thank you. You can applaud that. The KC region has been on a roll for the last decade and a half or so, but that's just the rocket going onto the launch pad. This is our opportunity to propel ourselves to new heights for a new era and on the global stage. The World Cup is a big deal. It's not just the biggest sporting event in the world, it's the biggest event in the world. And it's not just the biggest event in the world, it's the biggest event mankind has ever hosted in the history of mankind. Prove me wrong. 3 countries, 16 cities, hosting 48 national teams, and millions of fans, and an estimated 1.3 billion fans watching the World Cup final. 1.3 billion. That's more than 10x watch the Super Bowl. That is something like 1 in every 7 humans stopping what they're doing and watching the beautiful game at the same time in that shared experience. That's how big it is. And Kansas City is literally and figuratively in the middle of it all. And we're taking a leadership position in that middle of it all. Not only are we hosting 6 matches, including 2 knockout matches, including 1 match that is shaping up to have the potential, or has the potential, to be one of the biggest matches ever played in the history of the sport, by having 2 players who are some of the best who have ever played the sport, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, to meet each other in a World Cup quarterfinal in Kansas City. Now, they got to win to get there, but, you know, that can happen. That is huge. We're also hosting one of the largest, if not the largest, fan fest free to out-of-town visitors and local visitors alike at the National World War I Memorial and Museum. I don't know if people know, we're the only host city that actually has lyrics in our sonic ID in our music. So, you know, this KC Baby, Tech 9 we've been talking about all morning, we're the only city who is allowed to have a whole set of lyrics in a song and a video dedicated to us this way, right? And we're also base camp capital of this tournament. There's only one other city that is hosting 4 teams, and that's New York. And there is no other city hosting more than 1 Tier 1 team. We're hosting 3. No other city. Thank you. It's another tremendous accomplishment. This is our opportunity to showcase not only the richness of our culture and the vitality of our economy, but most importantly, the character of our people. The heart of this tournament will be the region with the biggest heart, right here. It will be a place where teams prepare, where fans gather, where unforgettable experiences will be made. It's a tremendous opportunity for our region, and we're not going to waste our shot at it. And none of this would have been possible without the investment, the planning, the collaboration, the leadership of communities like Johnson County, and particularly Johnson County. It's super important to point that out. This is the time, this is the moment for us to continue to be united, to strengthen our bonds that make us a united county and a united region. So let's go get it done. All right. One of these amazing leaders I'm thrilled to introduce, and that is Sheriff Cindy Henson. So, Cindy Henson, everybody.
Well, he's a tough act to follow. All right, well, good morning. Thank you for having us. I wanted to just say a few words. One is I understand the most important thing is safety, right? That's on everybody's mind, as well as having the most fun you can possibly have over the summer. With safety as our top priority, we are partnering closely with local, state, and federal partners to make sure Johnson County and the entire region is ready to welcome guests from all over the world. Our goal is simple. We want every resident and every visitor to enjoy the World Cup and everything Johnson County has to offer. This is really a regional team effort. Big events like the World Cup only come together when law enforcement, EMS, emergency management, transportation partners, and host communities are work side by side. And that work is happening across Kansas City area, including one of our key partners, the City of Overland Park. And with that, mine was short. Please join me in welcoming Mayor of Overland Park, Kirk Skug.
Good morning. How is everybody? All right. No sleeping, no napping this morning. They are coming, and we are ready. All right? And so what I hear from residents all the time is, number one, I'm not sure they understand what's ahead of this summer, understandably. But when I talk to people who've been to a World Cup, they are so excited, and they're the ones who tell me that we are ready. So the reason that we're ready is because of partnerships. We have a history in Johnson County of working closely with each other across city boundaries and within the county, as well as across county lines as well. And so partnerships are key to us being prepared, and maybe why some other host cities may be struggling a little bit. We work together every day, all the time. And so here in Overland Park, we're proud to be playing a major role in preparing the region for World Cup with, number one, we're going to host a transit hub right outside this door here as part of, during the tournament, as part of the welcoming part of the community and as a center of the transit world around us. We in Overland Park with our partners have invested not only in public safety, as we change chairs, as I tell residents at Overland Park, the number one thing we're focused on is safety. Number two is that when you will be able to go to work, to school, to the grocery store while this is all going on. And you will have an opportunity to participate in a once-in-a-lifetime event if you choose to. You can learn, you can experience cultures of the world right here in your backyard. And we hope that all of our residents take advantage of this event. One thing that we're excited about in Overland Park is that the clock tower landing, if you're not familiar, the old farmers market site, will be done in time for the World Cup, and we want it to be a key gathering place for the community and the world in Overland Park. Well, they are coming, and we are ready. Can I get a yes? Yes. All right. With that, I think that's our agenda, and look forward to the adventure ahead. All of us have an important role, and thank you for being here today to celebrate this exciting union of the county to provide transportation for our residents as well as our guests. And one thing I want to emphasize as a long-term benefit of this is the airport drop and ride, right? This is going to be cool. We need people to ride it. We need people to ride it. So share it with your friends and your coworkers that please take advantage of that service. You can get on it right outside the store when it starts. So thank you all for being here.
Put your flags up in the sky, and wave them side to side, side to side. So
Hey everybody, I'm First Warn 5 meteorologist Warren Sears. Happy Wednesday. It feels like it should be later in the week than Wednesday, but we've had a lot of super active and destructive and influential, impactful weather out there through the last few days, especially yesterday and even Friday. So it seems like we've had a couple of rounds of really potent thunderstorms. We will get to clear out and dry out a little bit later on today and through the rest of this week. So there is a little bit of a drying trend. However, it is so cold out there today already. Right now, we're only hanging out in the 30s. That front that came in last night really meant business because we were in the 80s yesterday afternoon. Huge changes out there today. So I want to do a little recap here, talk through what we experienced, show you the rest of your Wednesday and some warmer days ahead to give you a little morale boost out there because it's not a nice Wednesday. Now, 24-hour rainfall totals, this is all radar estimated, but usually does a pretty good job of what actually fell. And the reason that we had that flash flood warning that turned to flood warning this morning is because we had an axis of rain and kind of parts of Johnson, Jackson, also down even into Franklin counties that had anywhere between 3 to 5 inches of rain in a really short amount of time. And low-lying areas were, creeks, streams, rivers were swelling up bad. So we actually had that warning expire in Johnson County, but there is still one left over for Carroll County. If you travel to the east a little bit, that's where we had some more heavy rain. Now look at the Northland. I know you had all that hail yesterday, but look at the airport. Only recorded about 3/10 of an inch to a half inch of rain up in that vicinity. So it was really different depending on what part of the metro that you found yourself in yesterday. I want to travel up a little bit on the Missouri River to the east and get a look here. This is Carroll and Sheraton counties. We did have reports of water rescues earlier today. Sheraton County specifically, there's a little bullseye here. I'm seeing signs of over 7 inches of rain potentially in a small confined area of Sheraton County, kind of that northern part of Sheraton County, north of Brunswick there. So if you live in that area and you're watching this, let us know what you see, because that is a significant amount of water in a short amount of time. And I know that's kind of a hilly area over there. Let's recap the storm reports that came in as well. Any of the little ball icons that you see, that's all hail. There were a couple of wind damage and flood reports, but most of our reports yesterday were for large hail. The line of storms that came in last night in the southern metro, that was all smaller. This cluster here in southern Platte County and also even into parts of Wyandotte, it was all the same storm. It was getting bigger as it went through Wyandotte, and then the largest hailstones were in southern Platte County. So we're talking up into the Parkville, Lake Wacomis, also Weatherby Lake area. That's where we've seen some of the highest and the largest hail reports, hailstones, diameter 4 inches of hail, softball-size hail out there falling from the sky and significantly impacting homes, skylights, roofs, car windows, windshields. I mean, you name it. We had a lot of damage in this area. So from Weatherby Lake to Parkville over to Lake Wacomis, that was the general vicinity, and then eventually over to 169 highway. So we had a lot of great pictures. Thank you for sending all of those in, and hopefully all of your property is doing all right today. We had the rain that was heavy this morning. Rain is now moving more to the east as you look at the last batch coming through. This was all thanks to a cold front that came in last night, and a lot of the lingering rain showers now over into Saline and Pettis counties, also a tail end into Johnson on the Missouri side. And Sheraton, you're still seeing some rain now. But most of it is light to moderate and is quickly moving east. So on the back end of it here, not a whole lot going on, but it is still very cloudy. Some clearing in those clouds found to the west, though. That eventually is going to make its way into our area into this afternoon. So I think the Kansas City Metro pretty much done with rain. You might have a random sprinkle, but the ceiling, again, or the cloud coverage is very low right now. But watch what happens into the afternoon. Clouds at least break for some peaks of sunshine later today, and then eventually it turns completely sunny throughout the late part of the afternoon and evening. But it's not going to help us out much temperature-wise. We're going to struggle. We might be able to rebound from the 30s into the mid-40s. That is a might. That northwest wind, it's strong, 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 30. So that's going to keep our temperatures at bay, only 45, 46 or so in the afternoon. Now, tomorrow, we are expecting a warmer day. However, it's going to be windy tomorrow. Very windy out of the southwest this time, gusts to 40 maybe, and so that's going to help you warm up nicely into the afternoon, but again with a strong wind, kind of a trade-off of a day. 59 Friday, 66 Saturday. It's your warmest day out there. Let me walk you through the forecast winds. Well, this is going to be for Sunday, but we also have really strong winds and a new first warn on Sunday as another front comes in. That's where we're going to have wind gusts now back out of the northwest, anywhere between 40 to 50 miles per hour on Sunday. So let's show you your Security Bank 7-day forecast all over the place here. Winds at different directions. Northwest wind today, southwest wind tomorrow, bringing us back up. 60 degrees, 59 Friday, 66 Saturday. Here comes your next cold front that comes in during the day Sunday. Winds back out of the northwest, strong, bringing gusts to 40 miles per hour. That's going to tank your temperatures. 40s eventually to 30s on Monday. 39 degrees Monday is your afternoon high. We will see freezing temperatures Monday and Tuesday mornings, below freezing, and so sensitive plants, keep this in mind as we have a couple of chillier days, and then we'll warm back up next week. So quite the roller coaster of weather on the horizon for us, as what we do this time of the year, pretty common, but it is always so dramatic. You need all different types of clothing here through the next week. No 80s though. If you like the 80s, we got to wait a little while for that. All right, everyone, thank you for joining me specifically. I'm going to send it to a quick break, and Taylor and Janae will be right back.
Welcome in on this almost Wednesday afternoon. I'm Janae Hancock here with Taylor Johnson. The time is 11:33. Good afternoon, Taylor.
Good afternoon. You know, it feels like it's been 2 weeks and it's only been like 3 days.
Oh my goodness. I think we all kind of relate on that. I think Warren said it earlier. This has been a week.
The weather, the
On
time
Wednesday.
change.
Yeah, it's the time change. It is the time change.
Yeah.
But the weather here today is really making me tired.
Yes.
We gotta wake up. 2 cups of coffee and I'm still just not there. But we do have your news headlines. You just heard from meteorologist Warren Sears. You will hear from meteorologist Stevie Stevenson coming up during our noon newscast in about 30 minutes. But speaking of the weather, we do want you to take a look at this video. We've been getting a lot of different photos and videos coming into our newsroom from the storm yesterday. And take a look at just how hard the hail was coming down. This is from Lake Wacomas. You can see each ice stone pounding the water. Every hit sending up a big splash like a miniature geyser.
Yeah, and I mean, thankfully I didn't have to experience this in my part of town, but to hear some of the sound from these videos was just very jarring.
Let's see if we can turn it up right now.
Yeah, so you can check it out. And also there was a video we played in our newscast where like a piece of hail slammed the windshield and the person screamed. I can't imagine just how scary that would be. Thankfully it didn't break through, but
good. The good thing in that, Taylor, that specific video, and we do have it on our social media platforms, is that they stopped. They were pulled over when that happened.
Oh, good.
So that's good. And I think as you are driving and similar events, you definitely want to pull over and just stop driving, let it kind of calm down before you keep going.
Yeah, so we have more where that came from. I mean, take a look at some of these photos that we have. So we also have video too. This was taken near Berry Road in Green Hills. The hailstones here coming down hard. And then over on the Kansas side, some people in KCK, they saw big hailstones there as well. And the hail even hit Zona Rosa, giving some spike balls pounding the area. And the look at those spike balls was just oof.
Yeah, they're a little creepy.
Yeah.
They're a little creepy and they're huge. So I'm very grateful that I didn't have to deal with this as far as my car and my property. But some people, they were not as fortunate. And so with that, if you're not worried about getting on the roads today, it might be because you are looking at thousands in damage from that hailstorm yesterday. KCTV5's Maya Engel, she is in Parkville, one of the hardest hit areas yesterday, on what you should do right now if you do have damage.
We have seen reports from 1 inch to baseball size hail in the Kansas City metro area. Here in Parkville, those folks did experience that baseball size hail. That can lead to some pretty significant damage for your car and your home. So if you're waking up this morning, be sure to check for any damage. And the first thing that you should do, grab your phone and take a lot of pictures and videos. It's always best to have as much documentation as you can. And if there does happen to be any hail still on the ground anywhere, maybe take a picture of it next to a coin or a tape measure so you can show your insurance company exactly how big that hail was. So once you have all your documentations, then you should contact your insurance company and open a claim. They are going to be your best resource throughout this entire process.
All right, and that was our Maya Engel reporting. Now, hail damage, though, is generally covered by homeowners insurance, but your roof just might be a different story. So many policies, they have a separate wind and hail deductible, sometimes 1 to 5% of your home's value. So that can be a lot. And just put this into perspective. On a $300,000 home, that's up to $15,000 out of pocket before the insurance even pays a dime. So be sure to check your policy before you assume you're fully covered. I mean, talk about sticker shock.
I mean, and then just the shock, seeing the damage and then having to deal with everything as far as insurance coverage is concerned, and then finding out that you may not even be covered, so you have to pay for it out of pocket. Well, that actually brings us to our safety alert here this morning. Last night's hailstorm created hazards that are easy to miss, but they can send you to the hospital. So we do want to give you these safety reminders here on your screen. Stay off of your roof today. Wet shingles will drop on you, or will drop you, I should say, and then soft spots, they will collapse right underneath you. You want to look up before you walk. Hanging limbs, they fall fast, and if your ceiling is sagging, you need to get out immediately. Water near an outlet means one thing: you need to cut the power right away, and be sure to put on gloves before you touch anything. Use a broom and not your bare hands. And then take your time. Call a professional when in doubt, and you can fix the damage. Let's keep that in mind, but you cannot easily recover from severe injuries.
All right. And so we're not the only ones that saw severe weather. I mean, some areas really got hit badly. Dangerous storms with tornadoes and giant hail tore across the central U.S. overnight into Wednesday morning, with storms pushing east early this morning. The main concerns now: flash flooding and damaging winds. Reed Binion reports.
There it is, right there. This is right here, River Road area.
A massive tornado ripping through the Kankakee, Illinois area Tuesday evening.
Everybody, get in, get downstairs if you're out here. Stay safe. People in their cars are crazy. I'm going downstairs now. Hi, guys.
Part of a widespread outbreak of severe weather tracking across the central U.S. overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. Before that tornado in Kankakee, the same tornadic supercell produced a twister near Pontiac, Illinois. The supercell moved east across towns from central Illinois through northern Indiana.
We have an area that a lot of homes and businesses have been hit. Power lines are down everywhere. Injuries so far have been reported as being minor injuries, but the home damage is pretty significant.
The severe weather also included hail, some of it reportedly more than 5 inches in diameter in Illinois, which could set a new state record. Texas also seeing large hail, some of it reportedly baseball-sized. The Lone Star State also seeing at least one tornado and tens of thousands of power outages. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Alrighty, well, our weather coverage will continue, especially as those photos and videos continue to come into our newsroom. So be sure to keep it tuned in here with KCTV5 Plus, as well as our later newscast. Now, moving on to other news. After more than a year of debate, Leavenworth, Kansas is getting an ICE detention center. The city commission approved a permit for private prison company CoreCivic, allowing it to reopen its facility and house immigration detainees. KCTV5's Gabby Luma has been following this one very closely, and she joins us now with the very latest.
CoreCivic has made it clear what comes next is up to ICE, including when the facility opens and houses detainees. But what's also clear, community members are incredibly passionate in their opposition. Last night's meeting overflow crowd showed just that, one person even arrested. Following that vote, nearly 50 speakers addressed the commission as protesters rallied outside. Resident Daniel McIntosh vowed opponents will use any mistake to push for a shutdown. Meanwhile, one woman with an immigration rights group said the city prioritized big money over its taxpayers.
Stay involved. Don't forget about this issue. Don't forget about this vote. Don't forget that the city commission chose big money, chose money over humans.
CoreCivic issued a statement thanking the City Commission for their collaborative engagement on the special use permit. The company emphasized their goal is a safe, transparent, and accountable facility. We'll make sure to keep you updated on when those detainees are set to be moved inside. From the newsroom, Gabby Luma, KCTV5 News.
Kansas City Police, they need your help finding a suspect after a deadly shooting last night. Officers found an unresponsive man in a grassy area near 55th and Chestnut just before 6 o'clock. He later died at the hospital. Detectives still working to figure out what led up to the shooting. No one is in custody, but if you know something, call the TIPS hotline. The number and QR code is right there on the screen. Your tip is anonymous, and it could be worth up to $25,000.
A Kansas City man is behind bars today, charged with murder after surveillance video captured him shooting an unarmed man in the face near Westport. Now, police say 23-year-old Lamar Harris L. opened fire in a parking lot near 39th in Baltimore early Saturday morning, then stood over the victim and fired again. He faces second-degree murder charges today.
The Chiefs Parade shooting, the case is back in the spotlight right now, and the Jackson County prosecutor says the law failed the community. Dominic Miller was sentenced to 2 years, but only for unlawful use of a weapon. The murder charge in Lisa Lopez Galvan's death was dropped after ballistics couldn't confirm that his shot killed her, and prosecutors couldn't prove he fired first under Missouri's self-defense law. Prosecutor Melissa Johnson says that law is the problem, and she wants it changed.
But we must be productive and direct our frustration at the laws governing these cases, not exclusively the prosecutors and judges sworn to follow them. We will not file charges we cannot prove just to make a statement. We'll keep working with lawmakers to make tweaks to the laws failing our community.
The Lopez Galvan family released a statement saying they are saddened by the outcome and had hoped the case would go to trial.
A Bonner Springs man is being called a hero today after running into a burning home to save his neighbors. The fire broke out near Alcut and East Morse Avenue just after 7 Monday night. The couple inside remains hospitalized in critical condition today. The Good Samaritan and 2 officers who also suffered burns were treated and then released. KCTV5's Zach Fisher is in Bonner Springs with that story.
I was walking the dogs and just riding around the corner and saw that there was a fire in the entryway. There were 2 people in there and they were yelling for help.
He was just walking his dogs around 7 p.m. when flames shot out of his elderly neighbor's front door. A neighbor grabbed his dogs. Bert ran towards the fire.
I don't know, 8-10 feet of flames on the right-hand side, and it had jumped, so she was right there, it seemed like. So I went to her, and we got all tangled up in her walker and went down together, and I couldn't pull her out.
Smoke and flames choked the front entryway. Furniture blocked every move. Bert pushed the couple toward the back of the home, but the fire grew faster. The passage narrowed. The air turned toxic.
It didn't work out very well, but I'm at peace with my efforts. I'm glad I tried. I'm very worried for them.
While Bert fought to reach them, the neighbor who took his dogs called 911. Others sprinted over with fire extinguishers and water, a neighbor holding the line until help arrived.
He did the right thing. He was actually walking his dogs when he noticed the fire, started to approach the house to confirm that's what he was seeing.
Bonner Springs first responders arrived within a minute. Crews pulled 1 person from the home. A second remained trapped in that narrow entryway until fire crews broke through and got him out. 2 officers suffered injuries, one from smoke inhalation, another from burns, and a cut requiring stitches. Both were treated and released. Bert left the hospital this morning.
Would prefer people not make entry into a house that's on fire. Unfortunately, that's sometimes what people are called to do, and we understand that.
The captain calls it the best of Bonner Springs. Mutual aid crews from surrounding departments also responded.
Compliment to the first responders. Bonner's not a big place, so a couple officers arrived with fire extinguishers. Right after that, fire EMS were there, very kind.
There was our Zach Fisher reporting. Well, if your kid goes to school in Kansas, their phone may soon stay in their backpack all day. The Kansas House passed a bell-to-bell, no-cell bill yesterday requiring schools to restrict student cell phone use throughout the entire school day. It now heads to the governor's desk. Supporters say constant phone use has become a major distraction and a threat to students' mental health.
Many big Kansas districts, including Olathe, Shawnee Mission, and Blue Valley, already ban phones in class. High schoolers in those districts, however, can still check their phones at lunch and between periods. And Taylor, I just remember, maybe not during high school, but elementary, maybe middle school, just going and being in the hallways just to interact with friends. And that was like the exciting time, not to like be on my phone.
Well,
things have changed.
In high school, we're a little different there. In high school, we didn't really have phones either. Like people had phones at the time, but it just really wasn't a thing where we were constantly on them back then.
Right.
Because Instagram didn't even really take off until I started in college.
Yeah. I would say during my time in high school, it was Snapchat.
Yeah.
That was really, really popular. So I don't know.
When did you start high school? What year?
2013.
Okay.
Yeah. So during that time,
That
it was a Snapchat. But this is interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
You know what? I'm all for it because the phones are, I mean, even for us as adults, it's a distraction.
It is.
So I can only imagine what it's like for kids,
right.
Not paying attention in class. And then it's already, so many things have changed where they're already on the screen learning anyway.
Yeah.
So I would be for it.
And I can see it from a parent's perspective for sure, if that's the way they're looking at it as well. And what I realized? I was watching this YouTuber and she said, when I got to a stoplight, the first thing I did was pick up my phone.
Yeah.
And so I think we're so used to, okay, let me see who texts me. Let me see what's going on social media.
Such a
that we don't
digital
even
age.
realize it.
FOMO, that could be a thing.
I have bad FOMO.
FOMO is a real thing. But I know some parents also argue being able to get in contact with their child in case of an emergency, and I get that as well. But then I also think back to back in the day, how did parents, know what was going on and whatnot. So,
but I can see both sides of it because you do bring up that good point. Being a parent, or if I was a parent, and just having that contact, that way to get in contact with your child if there is an emergency right away, being able to text them directly and knowing that they have their phone.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject.
It is definitely a touchy subject.
Yes.
Well, something that is a very exciting subject, the Big 12 basketball tournament, Royals baseball, and the World Cup. Kansas City is packed with big sports events, and it just got a whole lot bigger. A new film festival is coming to town celebrating the stories that make sports worth watching. KCTV5's Gianni Navarro has those details.
Two-day event lands here at the end of August, riding on the momentum of the World Cup. They want Kansas City to be a place where sports-driven storytelling takes center stage. Kansas City is known for its championship teams, and now it's stepping into a new stage, a film festival, to celebrate the stories behind the game.
The Full Tilt Film Festival is a mix between a film festival and an industry summit. It is examining this sort of intersection between sports storytelling and media, film, sports, athletes, celebrities, franchises.
Rachel Kephart says the Full Tilt Film Festival will bring filmmakers, athletes, and industry leaders from around the world to Kansas City, all focused on the power of sports storytelling.
We have been thinking about ways that we can bring more media and sports and entertainment and creativity into our community through experiences both with fans and filmmakers and the people who kind of make these big decisions in our industry, whether it's sports or filmmaking.
The timing couldn't be better. Sports documentaries and athlete-produced films are exploding in popularity, and Kansas City wants to lead the movement.
We really feel like we're kind of right on the front lines of this because more and more sports and filmmaking and traditional media are starting to blend.
There's a love for sports, and with that comes a love for sports storytelling, and the rest of the country is taking notice.
For producers like Jared Kohler, sports is so much more than highlights or final scores.
There are people behind these games, and for us and storytellers across the globe to tell those stories really resonates with us and fans. They're important, they're powerful, and they create even harder lifelong fans because you know the story behind the game.
Kohler says sports storytelling is growing fast, and he's glad Kansas City is leading the way.
The rest of the country wants to be a part of this and tell the stories that are here, but also use Kansas City's resources to tell stories across the country with KC as a real creative storytelling hub.
The festival runs August 28th and 29th with notable names and high-profile projects set to be announced soon. In Kansas City, Gianni Navarro, KCTV5 News.
I love a good documentary. I don't care what it's about. And I wouldn't say that I'm like the biggest sports expert, but I feel like I've learned so much from like ESPN 30 for 30 documentaries.
I thought you were going to say from living here. I've learned so much about sports.
Oh, no. I mean, I have, but it was about the documentaries.
Oh, no. The documentaries. No, okay, I get where you're going. Keep going.
Yes. So the film festival just seems like a really cool concept. And then like that ESPN special that came out not too long ago about the Chiefs, I think it was called like The Kingdom. I know they did like a screening over the summer here, and that brought some folks into really paying attention. So I really love the storytelling behind it all.
I think it hits different when it's from your area or it's an area you're familiar with, because I know Quarterback, when it was on Netflix and it was featuring, I think it was the first season, and it was focusing on Patrick Mahomes and Kirk Cousins and some other quarterbacks, and I was into it just because, you know, just to be around KC and knowing the Chiefs, and I don't know.
And just telling the bigger story, because we also kind of talked about this yesterday when we were just reacting to Travis Kelce's decision to stay, is that they are also people beyond their jerseys. There are other things that athletes are involved with, whether it's philanthropy. They might have interesting stories about their upbringing. You know, so it's cool to just hear about also who they are beyond who we see them as on the court, on the field, wherever
their
else.
personal lives, going deep into their lives.
Yeah,
no, for sure. So I wouldn't say I'm like a big documentary person.
Oh, I love them.
But I'll watch them, but they have to really grab me.
Yeah.
Like I told you, it has to have that tie to it.
You don't want it to be like you're sitting in history class and it's like one of those
I don't want anything boring. Nothing boring. Unless, honestly, because I've watched like a documentary on like JFK, or I don't know. I'm just thinking of like random ones like Anne Frank or something like that. I've watched those type of documentaries, like real like historic ones, but.
And you want to learn something new from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be something you're really interested in, at least for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
And not to get on Michael Jackson, but so there were a few that Spike Lee did about him, about his albums. And then someone did a separate one about the Thriller album. And it just wasn't as good because to me, because I'm like, I didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
Like, give me something more.
Yeah.
Take us a little deeper.
That you didn't already know. So then that goes to my next question with April 24th rolling around. Is that when it comes out, the movie? So what if there's something in the movie that you already knew? Like everything in the movie you already knew. Are you still going to be into it?
The effects, maybe for the effects, but I don't know.
And the actors and actresses.
Yeah, because it's, like Nia Long and all of them are in there. But it would be nice to see a different perspective. It seems like it's going to be that way.
Yeah.
But there's only one way to find out.
It's to
hit
go.
the theater.
And that's another point. Going to the Broadway musical, and I know we've both seen it, MJ the musical, that was a different perspective for me because we were constantly hearing about just the glamorous life that he lived and how many hits he has, but to look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, and a different point in time.
Yeah.
Because, it's usually about like the childhood or like when he first blew up. But this one was like when he did the Super Bowl, around the time he did the Super Bowl or whatever. Nobody really thought about, at least me, what was happening at that time in
what
his
was
life.
he going through, and the paparazzi and everything else, and the stories that were coming out during that time. So very interesting. We don't want to give anything away for those who have not seen it.
Sorry. Have you seen real quick it was years ago though, The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan ESPN 30
No,
for 30?
And someone was just talking about this randomly the other day, but no, I have not seen
I learned
The
a
Last
lot.
Dance. I don't want people to attack me in the newsroom.
I
knew I said it a little too loud. I knew they heard me.
You learned so
But no,
much.
I haven't seen it. But I know it was really popular during that time, and I heard it was really, really good.
Yes, we had watch parties. I was working in Indiana at the time, and we had this big old monitor, and so we would put it on the monitor during our lunch break and sit and watch it in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, it was a whole event.
I'm sorry, I'm getting comments from the peanut gallery over here.
The live audience is being not so nice to Janae, right?
I said even Julia has seen it, so it's a whole thing. All right, well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have a little preview as to what you can expect before our noon newscast. We'll be right back.
All right, everyone. So we are just a few minutes away from our noon newscast, and be sure to tune in. I know through the morning it should be expired by now, but we did start the day with our first warn as we saw storms and rain. It should be moving out of our area. From what we heard from Warren Sears this morning and Luke Doris, that we should be seeing some sun later, but it is still going to be a cold day, especially compared to yesterday.
Right.
It was so beautiful.
I had on flip-flops yesterday.
Me too.
And here I am. I went to go get our Starbucks, and I'm like shivering, running to the car, just like last last week. Here we go again.
Shout out to Janae for the Starbucks run this
Yes.
morning. We appreciate it. But thankfully, the worst of the weather is over.
Yeah.
But be sure to tune in. Our Sharon Chen and Bill Hurlbrink will be bringing you your news headlines. And, of course, later on in the day, we'll also have more updates for you as well. So, and visit our website, too, kctv5.com. Tell a friend to download KCTV5 Plus on their smart TV. Get our app on your devices. Stay up to date. We're always keeping you informed.
Yeah, keeping you in the loop 24/7. And really fast, before we log off and send you over to our noon newscast, Taylor Johnson's birthday is coming up. So we do have to give a special birthday shout out.
Thank you.
Let our viewers know what you'll be doing for your birthday to celebrate.
Gosh, so I'm going to be off the rest of the week. So I'm going to relax and enjoy.
Good for
One
you.
of my best friends is supposed to be coming to town this weekend, so I can show her around Kansas City. Pray that the TSA situation gets better because we're kind of on edge about that. But I'm just looking forward to just another year. Very grateful to see it and looking forward to what's in store. And it's on Sunday, so I don't have to work.
And we are looking forward to celebrating you, and she will be celebrating with DJ Khaled for the Big 12 tournament.
Another one.
And we'll take a look at your weekend plans, all the activities happening right here in the Metro tomorrow with Bill's weekend picks. But for now, we are 30 seconds away from our noon newscast. We'll meet you right back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.